Hunter Biden, there's no evidence that he's done anything wrong.
We all know that Hunter Biden, there's no evidence of any wrongdoing with him.
Hunter Biden did nothing wrong.
There's no evidence of wrongdoing by Hunter Biden.
Hunter Biden is completely peripheral here. First, because there's no evidence that Hunter Biden or Joe Biden committed any crime.
There's no evidence that Hunter Biden did anything illegal, may have been unseemly, influence peddling.
On Hunter Biden's decision, despite no evidence that he has done anything wrong,
there's no evidence to support the claims about Joe Biden's son.
He is receiving and is now regurgitating, repeating, and disseminating disinformation that he knows to be fabricated and supplied by a foreign intelligence service. And despite the warning, he's still doing it.
You have said this entire thing is so obviously a Russian plot. It is to me, and I was never even an ambassador to the Russian Federation. Tell me why it's so obviously a Russian plot to you.
Rudy basically functioning as a Russian asset by pushing Russian disinformation.
CNN reported on Friday that U.S. authorities are seeing if those emails we just talked about are connected to an ongoing Russian disinformation effort.
Of the Trump campaign, indeed the Trump family, eagerly intending to collude possibly with Russia.
There was collusion. In our investigation, we saw strong evidence of collusion. The Republicans now are choosing to bury it.
Over the course of the last year, we have seen, I think, a mountain of evidence of collusion between the campaign and the Russians.
The evidence is pretty clear that there was collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. And
you think there's evidence pretty clear?
The evidence is there.
It seems quite clear. The president keeps saying no collusion, but there obviously was collusion. And the question is how high that collusion went and whether the president was part of a criminal conspiracy. It was clearly a criminal conspiracy to defraud the American people of an honest election.
This looks like an explosive indictment because the facts they set forth look like collusion.
First evidence of actual collusion. What Mr. Trump did yesterday was to betray the women and men of the FBI, the CIA, NSA, and others, and to betray the American public. And that's why I use the term that this is nothing short of treasonous.
This is direct collusion. Collusion's been established. It's out in the open, right? We know this all took place. And the whole notion of there being no collusion, this is the biggest version of the Trump crowd. There was collusion.
So this picture that the president is so desperate to avoid, this picture of collusion, begins to fill in.
You know, that's interesting here is it's both, on one hand, very damning, because it's collusion. You see it there, and it's collusion.
It would seem that collusion is obvious. A criminal conspiracy is unknown.
There's collusion in plain sight. There were the back and forth between various individuals who were affiliated with the Trump campaign and Russian individuals. That collusion, I think, is quite obvious and apparent.
A political hurricane is out there to seize for him. We'll call it Hurricane Vladimir, if you will, the whole Russian thing.
This is evidence of willingness to commit collusion.
Chris, I welcome Vice President Biden to the club. Since the middle of April, the president's guidelines for reopening have called for wearing masks.